Join Kids Hut family. Look, that's a wolf out there. He looks so big and cunning. Yeah, Tofu. Wolves are known to be clever and cunning. My childhood memories with wolves are quite interesting, especially the story of the wolf and the 7 little goats. The wolf and the 7 little goats? Wow! I haven't heard that one. Tell me the story, Tia. The Wolf and the 7 Little Goats. Once upon a time, there lived a mama goat and her 7 little kids. Theirs was a happy little home. All the 7 little kids used to play in the meadows, into the wild with the butterflies and birds singing along. Their days used to go in complete harmony and bliss. Until one day, a big black wolf noticed these little kids playing in the meadow.
Ha ha ha! Such an easy treat they are for me. I haven't eaten since ages. I'm sure these would make delicious lamb chops for my dinner tonight.
He waited for the moment when the mother goat would leave her kids alone, patiently hiding in the bushes. Children, I'm going to the market to buy bread and cookies for you. I'll be back by evening. Just make sure you remain conscious of this big bad wolf.
But Mommy, how would we know if it's not you?
The wretched wolf can easily be recognized with his hoarse voice and black feet. Don't open the door, or else you little ones would get into danger.
Don't worry, Mommy. We would take care of ourselves.
The mother goat went off to the market and the kids made doubly sure with the locks on the door. After making sure that they are safe in their little home, off they went to play when suddenly there was a knock on the door.
Hello, my children. Open the door. Your mother is back.
Hearing the voice, the youngest one scampered to the door.
Mommy, she's back.
In no time, the eldest one ran to catch his little sibling.
No, it's not our Mommy. She hasn't got such a rough voice.
And then, looking at the door, the eldest kid shouted back saying,
Go away, you big bad wolf. Our mother doesn't have such a hoarse voice.
Hearing this, the wolf got annoyed and ran to get a box of chalk, as he had heard that this would make his voice as soft as that of a baby. But kids, you shouldn't do this at any cost, as this would only make your tummy ache badly. So off he went and gulped off the whole box of chalk. Knocking on the door again, he said,
Hello, kids. Your mother is back. Look what I have got for you. Cookies, breads, and ginger ale.
Oh, that sounds like our mother. Should we open the door now? But look down there. Our mother has not got black feet. This is surely the wolf. Go away, you big bad wolf. Our mother has not got black feet, but beautiful white feet.
Hearing this, the wolf ran to the miller and jumped into the mountain of white dough. He was all white from head to toe. Running back to the house, he knocked again and said,
Kids, your mother is back. Open the door.
That sounds like a mother, and also the feet are white. We should open the door now.
Not knowing what danger awaits them, all the kids ran to the door and opened it. But just to see who was standing there. The big bad wolf gave a loud laugh and brushed off his white powder.
Hello, kids. Are you ready to become my feast tonight?
The kids ran here and there to save their lives. One went inside the kettle, the other in the oven. One looked for a place under the bed, and the other tried saving itself by hiding in the pot. The youngest one was so tiny that he managed to hide himself inside the clock case. The wolf, having no mercy, started taking them out from their hidings. One by one, he rolled them in a ball and gulped them up.
Ah, there goes the first one. Oh, the second one is under the bed. Here you go.
In no time, he ate all the kids except for the youngest one who was hiding in the clock case. With his tummy full, he burped and left the home. When the mother returned, she was shocked to see the door open and waited for the biggest nightmare that might have come true. The house was all upside down. The crockery was broken. The curtains were torn. The chair was broken, and the kids were nowhere to be found. She cried for them.
Children, oh children, where are you?
At that very moment, the youngest one came out of the clock case and hugged his mother, crying and howling.
Oh, Mother, the bad wolf disguised us by sounding and looking like you. He ate up all my brothers and sisters. What will we do now?
Don't worry. Let's go and look for him.
They went out searching for the wolf. His tummy was so filled that he slept off in a meadow near the house itself. His snores was so loud that even the branches of the tree were shuddering. The mother goat very quietly went near him and asked her youngest kid to get scissors, thread, and a needle. Off he went to get them. The mother goat very quietly slit open his tummy and took out all her kids from his tummy. They then filled up his tummy with stones as big as balls, and then she stitched the tummy with the thread and the needle. The wolf had such a huge feast after so long, and he slept all night. In the morning when he got up, he was so thirsty that he tried running to the well, but his belly was so heavy that he could hardly walk. He picked up his belly and managed to reach the well. But the moment he bent down to drink water, he couldn't handle the weight and fell in the well. The kids were looking at all of this from their window and shouted happily,
Mommy, Mommy, the wolf has died. Now we can play freely outside without any fear. And they lived happily ever after.
now that was one cunning wolf. But Tofu, if you be bad to others, bad happens to you too. Always remember that. Yeah, Tia. What happened, Tofu? Why are you so sad?
Tia, I am sad because I lost my bicycle last week. My friends enjoy the ride on their bicycles, but I can't. I wish they lose their bicycles too.
Tofu, I never knew you'll be so mean. You sound very selfish. You should stop this right away.
Tia, sorry Tia, but I was really sad. I don't have one, but my friends do. I just feel left out.
It's okay, Tofu. I can understand that you are sad. But wishing bad for others is not good. We should always think good for others. Come, I'll tell you a story about a fox who became a laughing stock amongst his friends just because he was very selfish. The Fox Without a Tail. One day, a fox was walking in a forest. Suddenly, he heard a huge snap, and in an immediate reaction, he jumped. But something awful happened to the poor little thing. He found his tail stuck in a trap, and this gave a sharp pain in his rear.
Ooh! Ah! That hurts so much! Oh! My tail is stuck in a trap! What would I do now?
After battling for long with his tail and the trap, he gave a final try to it, and with that came another snapping voice. Tears coming out of his eyes, the fox moaned.
Oh, my tail! My tail! I lost my furry, beautiful tail. What would I do now? I'll become laughing stock of my skulk now. This is so embarrassing.
And he walked deeper into the forest with his head bowed down in sorrow. When suddenly an idea struck his mind. He decided to call a meeting of all his friends.
Friends, I have gathered you for a reason today. While walking through the forest, I kept wondering. We have eyes, nose, ears, teeth, legs, all for some reasons. But why do we need a tail? It's a useless thing and keeps bothering us for some reason or the other. It either gets in way of our sitting or when kept outside is left for someone to trip over. So after a deep thought, I cut off my tail and want you to do the same. It feels great without that useless thing.
The skulker fox kept looking at the fox in amazement as to what he was saying. It's true, but nobody has really thought about them without the tail. It surely would be painful to do that. Meanwhile, a young agile fox jumped onto the higher place and addressed the skulk.
Are you saying this because you no longer have a beautiful furry tail? Here you are just talking about your self-interest so that you don't get embarrassed and feel left out of the skulk.
And the rest of the skulk went off laughing away and discussing as to how selfish and mean the fox is. In order to not feel embarrassed, he wants everyone to chop off their tail.
Tia, now I understood. I shouldn't be selfish
and not think bad for others. Come, I'll buy you an ice cream, Tofu. For your favorite rhymes, stories, and more, join Kids Hut family. Subscribe here.